Yo, this has been the real. Oh, I don't say this has been the real deal if we're at the start of the real deal.
No, that probably
This will be the real deal.
Yeah.
This is the real deal. We are back, baby, and better than ever. I'm gonna take that.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Since Allie doesn't want to say it anymore.
Good. Go ahead.
I'm in a different place now. Doesn't feel.
It's like it's not in tradition with the new Allie. This is a new Allie thing. We're moving past that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everybody, how's everybody doing today? What's y'all doing?
Super special, awesome as always.
Super special, awesome as always.
Yeah. You put a lot of work to feel like that.
And Allie Rose, how are you doing?
You know, that is not my real name, but I really like that.
I'm glad you do. Everybody gets a nickname.
I'm gonna make it my new Instagram
Allie Rose.
name.
You're in my phone as Allie Rose, so.
It's a cute love.
Is anybody in your phone as like who they are? Or is it just some whatever thing you put in there?
Yes.
Okay, great.
There are definitely. Mom, hello. That's.
I just know a few people in your phone, and I'm like, now that I think about it, no one has a normal name in his phone. I've never seen it.
What's Jaquan's name in your phone?
I think it's actually just Daquan, which is funny because my phone is connected to Google because I have an Android. So if I put you in my phone as whatever I put you in as originally, then it's always going to be the same as long as I log in with Google.
And I'm okay with that.
But I've only matured and blossomed over the years, so the names have gotten progressively more interesting.
Yes, a little excitement in your life.
I do have a couple, girl from the club, guy from the club, Alex with the thing. I just said Alex because I was looking at you, but.
You know what's funny? Is that I don't even take time to put those people in my phone. I just don't. There's people who've been like I've talked to for like not long periods of time, but like, oh yeah, we're cool. We texted. I'll be like, yeah, still don't have your number saved. Yeah. I
feel like I'll do the same thing. I mean, it was a long while until I added Allie to my phone because we've been friends for years. And we did a podcast together before, and I
know.
Yeah.
We never, how did we communicate?
We just never got phone numbers.
Smoke signals, just smoke
letters.
Signals. That's all you needed.
Yeah. We kept it classy.
Formal type letters.
That's right. Type it on.
Guys, my neighbor from 2 years ago messaged me last night. Hey girl, it's been a while. How you been? Like, I don't have his number saved, and I had to scroll up, and the last message is from July 2021.
Oh wow!
I was like, how far did this man have to scroll back in his text messages just to like try and hit some? And it was at like 10 p.m. I was like, bro.
Oh man, that was an intentional. You were on his mind, and he was like, hold on. I need to reconnect. I need to connect back to happier days, and Allie represents that.
I'm not. I said let's disconnect, and I deleted it.
Oh, dang.
Wow.
Okay, it ended on a sour note. Maybe he was trying to sit there and make up for all his past things. Maybe he's doing AA or something.
Yeah, he probably got divorced or something. And he was like, "Oh, Allie, let me holler at her real quick."
Maybe.
I don't know about all that.
She's probably still going to like singles nights and stuff.
Well, who knows? But this is why. This is why you don't save people's numbers.
I was hoping for like a you spit all over your computer reaction, but that's not the reaction we got.
Why would you want that? Why would you want
that? That was so hurtful. I'm so mad. What's wrong with you?
It wasn't intended to be hurtful.
You have 2 kids, okay? It's not like that.
Yeah, you could, but here we are. So
I didn't say that you were single. I'm just saying he had fun when he
Allie,
find unconditional love.
Oh, ooh, segue. Oh, I love it.
Okay.
It was great. She just sat there, found
And
it. Wow.
before
Kobe,
the segue,
now the helicopter crash.
before the segue, I'm gonna pause for technical difficulties.
I can't do anything. I closed out all the other tabs.
It's okay.
Inevitable,
It's okay.
but that's okay.
Look,
We'll
one day
figure it
we're
out
gonna
next
set you
week.
up. We're gonna get you there. You're
Yeah,
gonna
one
be
day
sitting
we're
there in
gonna
a
get
live
you
studio
there.
audience.
And we're gonna get Daquan with a camera. Everybody will be able to see his
I know
face.
you will one day.
And
One
people
day.
gonna be
One
like,
day.
wow,
In the
that's what he
future.
looks like. Follow.
Exactly.
I just had one of
I
those
will-
moments last week.
Oh,
Where people was like, ooh, follow.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, that is
But,
true.
oh,
You
this
did
is what
have
the
that.
song looks like.
Oh yeah, that is true. 'Cause, yeah, he finally knew. I remember when you came in, you was like, "I just knew you were there because I just know the sound of your voice," and I was like, "That's a little creepy."
Yeah.
But I was like,
That
Sorry.
is awesome.
I was standing in like doing my name thing, and like my ears like perked up because I could like hear Jaquan's voice, and I was like, "Oh, he's in there." I was like, "Which
Well,
one is he?"
Yep. Look, like
That is
I
so
will
funny.
I personally, like I just told Bracy, want to be a disembodied voice that always sits there guiding people on the direct path. I want to be everyone's live action Jiminy Cricket. Like that's my goal right here. This is my joy. This is what gives me joy right now.
I want you to have different goals for your life.
Look, lots of people want lots of things, but here we are. But back to that unconditional love
Back
topic
to
you brought up.
unconditional love. All right, so today, our fellow friends, we are talking about unconditional love and enabling / ableism. So, if you do not know, well, then we will briefly educate you. So, there is a population of humans out there who believe that unconditional love means giving a person unlimited chances to make unlimited mistakes until they finally get it right. Essentially, that's in a nutshell. Obviously, that's hyper generalized, but that's the long and short of it. There's another population of people that believe that if you are to love a person the correct way, then you have to either give them limited opportunities to make mistakes, but basically you should allow somebody to fail a couple of times in order to get it right. And if they continue to fail, or you should hold their hand essentially until they can get it. And then if you don't hold their hand, then I'm saying this backwards. So you should hold their hand.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. Look. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna hold your hand. I don't believe in that shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I use the phrase unlimited mistakes, but essentially you shouldn't allow people unlimited mistakes. Sometimes you have to let them be like, okay, you actually.
It's a forgiveness thing.
Yeah.
Tough love.
Yeah.
Well, not
necessarily. There we go.
I wouldn't say necessarily tough love because it's more of a how many times are you gonna bail someone out before you decide they have to deal with their consequences. If you love someone, most people take it as, well, if I love this person, I'm not going to let this person feel any negative consequences because I love them. Versus, no, I'm going to let this thing happen to them. It will hurt them, but it's for their betterment.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting because I think the thing that I struggle with is, should I give people unlimited chances? I believe in second chances, and I believe in third chances. I don't know what number chances I stop believing in, if that makes sense.
When you stop believing in what, though? Like, my thing for this question is not about whether or not, and if we're going to talk about whether or not you should give people chances or not, I'm never going to give you a chance. I'm always going to sit there and be like, yo, you have to sink or swim. You have to figure it out. I'll help you. I'll sit there. Yeah, from the start. I'm going to sit there and watch you flounder. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay. I'm not going to sit there and watch you flounder. You're going to sit there. I'm going to have an expectation. You're going to not meet it. I will be like, okay. And I'm not going to constantly come and save you, but I'm never gonna let
them like. And I don't want to say so because I feel like fail in this context sounds like a mistake. In this context, when I say fail, I mean like you hit rock bottom, like you fail. But
and here's the thing, I'm the opposite. I'll let you fail, but I won't ever let you hit rock bottom. Like, I'll let you constantly go and, like, stumble and crawl and hit your head and you just can't get everything right. But I will never let you just sit there at the bottom and be, like, just wallow.
I feel that.
Man, I give the unconditional love for sure until, like, people realize that I'm giving that, and then it's like taken advantage of, and then once I realize like, oh, I think I'm at my rock bottom from giving you unconditional love, that's when I'm like, you know what? I think that I think I need to not have unconditional. What is the other thing again? Like, what's the other word I can't add? What's it even called?
Conditional love, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, now I have conditional love.
My love has become conditional. I don't know. I struggle because So I'll tell it this way. I think I have unconditional love. However, because I'm an engineer, I'm data driven. So each time you make the mistake, whether the mistake is like, we supposed to hang out and you don't show up, or it's an actual mistake on like a test or a project or something, each time you make a mistake, I just note that in my head. And what happens, I think, for me is that your percentage of success goes down. And so I was having this conversation with my supervisor, and she said, do you trust your staff? And I was like, can you define trust? And she said, yeah, it's basically, like when you have faith in somebody that they'll succeed or whatever at whatever you ask them to do. And I was like, well then no. In that definition, I don't have faith in my staff. Which also is kind of funny if my staff watches this.
Yeah, that's going to lead to an awkward conversation. I'll
say this as a rebuttal though. I said this is what I have trust in my staff. I was like, but this is my definition of trust. I was like, it's based in statistics. So if you suck at calculus and every time I give you a calculus problem you fail, then I'm gonna trust that you suck at calculus. Now, even if you succeed, I'm never gonna be like, I'm gonna put this calculus problem in your hands because I believe in you. Because I believe that you can't do it because of the statistics. And that's what I trust. Like, I trust that you're not good at this thing, which works both ways. Because you could be really good at some, like, this really one specific thing because of the statistics. So I'm going to count on I trust that you're good at this, or I trust that you always show up 5 minutes late. So, like, I trust that you show up 5 minutes late, so I'm going to show up 5 minutes late. Like, so it's not like I don't trust that they're not going to show up. I trust them to show up 5 minutes late.
So
your love isn't conditional; it's reactive.
Well, and okay, so let me do this because I have a problem with us doing this with unconditional love and conditional love. I feel like what we're arguing is not about love and necessarily; it's about enabling. It is. Do you feel that enabling people will eventually lead to a better outcome, or do you feel that people dealing with adversity is what then allows them to grow and become better? And this is honestly, I think me and you had the same conversation when it came to like kids when we were on that Philly trip, where it's like, if given the opportunity, would you remove any struggle from your children's life? And I personally am like, no. The struggle in your life is what makes who you are.
Yeah, I remember that conversation.
And it's like for me, I understand the thought and the desire to remove that struggle. But it's like I feel like I'm doing whoever that is a disservice.
Yeah.
That if I don't,
and that's interesting. So, because there were some other people on that trip who said, no, if I have the resources, then I'm gonna remove every single barrier for my child. And I was like,
that's how I feel.
I was like, I don't know, that's hard, man. Like, I feel that I'm not filthy rich. I feel like if I was filthy rich, I would still send my kids to Detroit public schools.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, sorry, not sorry. Like, we got.
Why is that the thing? Damn.
I'm only saying that because I went to Detroit public schools, but I feel like you have to learn I love Naruto because Naruto's like I shouldn't say Naruto, but Minato's what is it like wisdom for Naruto was to struggle, and I was like when I heard that I was like, that's real. Like if you struggle you grow, but if you don't struggle you don't grow.
Yeah.
But it works for me. I don't know if I can do it for like my kid.
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I think that if you don't struggle, it also makes you really ignorant to a lot of like other situations and things. And like that, I don't. You can be like privileged and have these like things like given to you and not face the obstacles. But as long as you have perspective, I think that's very different.
True, but even with perspective, that's also another thing that's hard to give. The only way you can have perspective is to at least have some type of struggle to relate that to. If struggle is a foreign concept to you, no matter what, you're never going to understand it. Like, if you just never had to struggle for anything, like, for example, the biggest thing that happened in my life is mainly school. In school, I never had a problem. It was really easy for me until I got to college. I never studied. I never had to do anything because it wasn't necessary. I just knew what to do, and it just always worked. But then the moment I got to a point where things became difficult and I had to struggle, I had no idea how to react to that. And that was a disadvantage to me. And so it's something that in my life I've felt and seen the need for it, and I can see how just me experiencing certain struggles makes me a better person and allows not only me to get through more struggles, but then be able to be in a position where I can even help someone. And back to what I was saying before is, I'm not going to help you through the struggle. I'm just going to be there to help pick you up when you fall.
Yeah.
My heart. So sweet.
Yeah, come on.
I'm jotting that one down for the highlight. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I think that's great and all, but this is how I came up with this idea. So there's I'm trying to think of how to say this without using the actual person. Essentially,
bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, I know. So essentially, there's a man.
Stop. I hate you so much. You're so infuriating.
What is going on right now?
It's because I know what he's
viewers right now. I'm as lost as they are.
Oh my goodness!
So essentially, there's a person that I know, and this person has a child, and this person likes to take advantage of the system. And due to their taking advantage of the system has essentially rebelled against them. And due to the system rebelling against this person, now their child is essentially compromised. And the thing that I struggle with is, should I continue to step in and support this person for the sake of the child? Or should I let the person suffer and then in turn the child suffer as well? Because right now, my support supports the child. And that's all I care about. I don't care about the person. I care about the child. And this is the
so
dilemma.
hard.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Do what you want. Just do what you want. That's all. That's
Life isn't that easy to
Yes,
find.
it is. Yes, it is. It is that easy. You can just do what you want. It's fine.
Yes, so Daquan is saying to continue to support the person and then support the child.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I think supporting the child, while inherently doesn't support the person, you could say, well, it supports the person. I'm like, yeah, kind of, but that's not really what's important. What's important is, hey, this child needs these actions, so I'm going to do it. Whether or not it supports the other person doesn't help them. And to be honest, yeah, that person you could say, oh, this person's taking advantage of the system. But at the end of the day, the system's not trying to help. The system's intent was to help people in general.
The system's intent was to help the person. But the person kept taking advantage of the system.
Advantage of it.
And then the system said, okay, screw you. Like, we won't.
But the system's intent isn't to help that individual person. It's to help people in general, that child included.
Yeah, sure.
And so I understand. Basically, what I'm saying is you're throwing the sink out with the bathwater in this situation. I think this is kind of what I said when we first talked about this.
The sink out with the bathwater?
Or are you throwing the baby out with the bathwater? Oh, woo.
We both just made a face and then looked at each other like, what? Like, did you understand what you just did?
No, look, that was bad. That was big bad. So here's the thing.
With the bathwater.
Here's the thing. I was saying words,
but the bathwater
in my brain. It sounded great though. In my brain, sounded perfect. I didn't realize that apparently there was a communication issue, between my brain and my mouth. I thought we were on the same page. Apparently, we're not. Yeah, but it's okay. Look, we getting there. Yeah, okay, whatever. It's fine. Look, man, you need them blooper reels.
That's true.
But this. For me, like I said, you just do what you want. At the end of the day, that's what people typically always do anyway. I want this. I want to help this person. So I am. And whatever happens for that is whatever happens for that. That's how I operate. And yes, I understand not everyone can be like me, but why not?
My thing is that, because I feel like I have a very similar situation in my personal life. And, if helping the kid helps the adult in a way that like disrupts like my life, or then it becomes like an issue for me on like a personal level, then I can't do it. And like I guess I'm hoping that later on when this child becomes older, like they'll understand that like I love them unconditionally, but like because of unfortunate oh, it's so hard. Don't look at me like that.
No. Here's the thing.
You just said unconditionally. And it sounds like you applied a couple conditions to that.
Yeah. Well, okay, so.
I love it.
Okay. First off, and again, this is my personal take. I understand how other people think. I don't believe, or in my life, I've never experienced people with the capacity for unconditional love. Every time you see someone who loves someone, it's always based on a condition.
What about me?
your conditions right now are based, or that's what we're discussing right now, is your conditions. What is the condition for my love? That's what we're discussing.
Yeah, but I'm saying unconditionally loving everybody all the time.
Do you though? Mm-hmm. How many times does someone have to do something that you feel is untenable before you can no longer love that person?
I don't think I have a limit.
I think there is a limit.
How often are people mean to you?
Nope.
It's not about being mean. It's about doing something atrocious.
That's also actually pretty true, Allie. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but people are really mean to me, you know?
That is true.
So, like, when someone is, like, consistently mean to you and, like, really being hurtful, at what point are you, like, okay, I can't...
I don't think I've
honestly,
that's happened to me
That's
before.
not the route. That's not the route to go with break.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's ever happened.
If you are seeing someone do something unbearable in front of you, if you are watching someone
like
just
murder somebody in front of me,
murder, sure.
But the person with the train kills the 5 people and not the 1 person.
Wait. If we opening up the trolley problem, that's a whole different conversation.
The trolley problem.
The trolley problem is very complicated, and honestly, we don't know about those 5 people. Maybe they're terrible people. Maybe they deserve to die.
Listen,
we don't know.
If you want to know my response to the trolley problem, then it is a coin flip. Like, as in, I would literally be like, 1 person, 5 persons. Okay, heads, 5 people, tails, 1 person. Flip the coin, and then I'd catch the coin. I'd be like, okay, that's what I say.
Man, that's essentially not my answer. My answer is it doesn't matter. More likely than not, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to look at it, and they're like, oh, it's your choice. And I'm like, no, it's not. And I'm going to walk away.
That's also true. Yeah, but I think that's more of an engineering, not engineering. But like...
I wouldn't even say it's engineering. It's more so how we are. I feel that is not necessarily engineering, but me and you both have atypical thought patterns when it comes to certain things. Yeah. We 100% probably wouldn't be emotionally connected to any of those people who care about them.
Yeah, the actual emotional connection to the decision, I think, that wouldn't exist for us. It'd more be like, it's sad that somebody is gonna die in this situation. Yeah. But the actual decision part of it, I don't think we would have an emotional attachment to it.
Yeah, and introducing an emotional attachment is interesting because that's when things become. It's like, oh, there's 5 random people, but then it's your mom on the other side.
Here's my emotional attachment. I am in favor of the system, and the system not wanting to support this person is the part that I have an issue with. Because I want the system to support the person, but the system said no, they keep taking advantage of us. And so I was like, dang, that sucks, because now I'm over here trying to support this person just to support their child. But the system says, no, I don't want to support them anymore.
And so now you have a choice. What do you care more about? What's your condition?
I don't really have one. I just want to keep supporting the kid. But I also am like, dang, come on, sister.
And this is the trolley.
Right, can you support the kid by telling the person to, like, get their butt in gear?
I've
and, like, figure their shit out? Because, like, sometimes you'll just need to be told. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I've been told. I've been told by the system that the system has done that multiple times.
Well, maybe it's the wrong
part
of the system
Gracie?
telling them that, and you need to be the one. Maybe
Gracie?
you're the.
That's a whole lot of steps. What do you want? What is thine desire?
This conversation is starting to get a little too focused on moi.
Fine. You can focus on me. We can do something else.
Yeah.
I have a thing about I don't know if unconditional love is the right thing, but like a couple years ago, I was listening to a podcast on NPR, and it was saying how in a small town, a bunch of people were converting to become like ISIS members or something. Yeah. And so when people were doing that, when like, and they found out, they would be like shunned basically and like kicked out, which only made them like fall into this like extremism even more. Mm-hmm. When people like, I think the episode was called like Flip the Script, and when people like flipped the script and instead were like, oh my gosh, like, no, come back, we're gonna welcome you with open arms, then people were more likely to like revert from that and like link in with their community more. And so I'm a firm believer in that, like acceptance and understanding and empathy and like unconditional that way. But maybe I just know it because I know that there is a more positive outcome.
Well, it could be a positive outcome, and so we can sit there. Yes, you're 100% right. In situations like those, shunning them isn't going to do it. It's just going to lead them directly to the thing. You see that same with any type of like really heavily like groups. You see that with cults. You see that with everything. The more the outside world shuns them, the strengthens the bond of the cult. Right. Hence why, and back to my point, I just do what I want. If I care about you and I'm like, no, you did this stuff, sure, okay, whatever. But I'm not gonna sit there and hesitate and be like, oh man, that's some real fuck shit you're about. But you know, don't do that. But outside of that, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I'm never gonna talk to you or do anything like that. I do agree with you that shunning people is literally always the worst decision you could probably make. But not actually talking and communicating your feelings or what you actually desire is way worse. To sit there and constantly be passive is terrible.
I do think passivity is... Damn, this is hard. I think you're correct in that being passive leads to far more issues. I know I think that's my big issue. It's like I'm just a passive person. Like,
you are?
No, you're not.
Yes, I know.
Okay, no. Here's the thing. He's passive. What he is he's passive about a lot of things that people think is important. He should be active about.
Yeah, I'm passive about the things. Yeah, I care about what I care about, like everybody. But everybody has opinions about a lot of things that I'm just indifferent about.
Yeah, and that's why we get along, because I'm the same way.
And so people are like, I'm trying to think of a good example that's not like gonna send the internet into a frenzy if they hear this.
Nah, man, let it burn. If you want me to do it?
Into politics, okay? So.
Okay, yeah, you want me to burn the bridges? I'll burn the bridges.
For instance, like I've had friends who will organize like black marches or things like that. Here's the thing. I don't like to walk. And that sounds really bad to say. Like I said, I just don't like being outside. I don't like to walk. # I also work at a summer camp, so I don't really know what to do about that. But I don't like walking, and I'm not like. Am I for equity and inclusion? Yes. Is that my passion in life? No, it's not. So you may catch me at a march, maybe, but that's not, like, if I have something else happening that day, I'm not canceling plans to go march. You get what I'm saying?
And I get what you're saying.
It's not like a thing for me. Like, I'm not gonna, and I think that bothers people. That bothers a lot of people because they're like, "Oh, you should."
It definitely. I think I'm feeling kind of bothered right now.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I understand exactly what you're talking about because I have the same thing that you feel, but I have it for so much things that people really are passionate about that when they see my meh about it, they're just like, I don't understand. It's like,
yeah, like why aren't you riled up about this?
And I'm like, and I'll sit there and be like, because honestly, this is not that important. Like, and I'll say that to people, and then they'll be like, oh my God, you don't understand. It's like, no, I understand you care. That's fine. You go ahead and live your best life. I'm not going to stop you. But to
Daquan
make
has
me
said this
care-
exact conversation to me, like, I think every single podcast.
Oh, because this is the Daquan philosophy. This is
This
literally
is the Daquan philosophy. This is true.
This
The
is-
Daquan philosophy is validating the other person's feelings and then telling him that he also doesn't care about them at the same time.
yes,
Which
because
is actually a very profound skill.
Yes, because your feelings are valid. Go right ahead. I understand why you feel them. Why are you bothering me with them? And I'll sit there and be like, hey, these things happen. Oh, and the only time it ever becomes a hostile thing is when people's like, I have this feeling. And I'm like, yeah, but your feelings don't map on with reality. So I understand that you feel this way, but the reality of the situation is, this is how it is. And Gracie can know, oh my God, there were so many times I've argued with people about how, like, yes, I understand that you feel this way. I understand why you would feel this way. But the reality of the situation is X, Y, and Z. And no matter how much you feel, that doesn't change X, Y, and Z.
We did this 2 episodes ago. What do
We
you
did.
mean?
And I know, but like, this is welcome to my life where I just sit there and I don't necessarily want to do this. I like talking about things. I don't want to sit there and go through this route. I just want to sit there and be like, this is how I feel, and move on.
Here's an interesting thought, and this takes us away from our subject a little bit. Why does it bother people if you're indifferent? Like, why does indifference bother people? Because this is the truth. I'm gonna say something that is true. As a human, you cannot have the energy to be passionate about everything. You can have an opinion about almost everything, but you can't have the energy to be passionate about everything. And so, why does indifference bother people?
Well, it's like birds of a feather flock together. Like, people find community in like-mindedness. And so, it's like, if you like orange t-shirts and I like orange t-shirts, well, then that's like our link together. And we can agree that orange t-shirts are better than red t-shirts. And so then we have red t-shirt people. And, like, it's a way to, like, it's how people assimilate. I think it's like...
I'll take it a step. I was about to say, I'll take it the next step further. Their opinions, their things that they're passionate about, to them is their identity. And when you're indifferent about the thing that they identify as, that means you're indifferent about them. And I personally don't feel that that's the case. I feel that just because I'm indifferent about an aspect of you doesn't mean I'm indifferent about all of you. Just as when I know there's
I agree with that.
Like Daquan specifically, or like you're saying in general?
No, in general. I'm sorry,
like,
in general.
Sorry, Daquan, I don't believe that about you.
That was like fair.
She just pulled the Daquan on Daquan.
Whoa! First off, what is it? I'm tired of people using my name as verbs.
Well, then quit verbing.
Feels gross. So yeah, go explain your point. What do you mean?
I don't think that it's that I don't like somebody if they don't agree with me because it's my identity. I think it's like I don't know. Can you say what you said again?
People ascribe their passions to their personality.
Yeah.
And saying that my belief in this is so core to me that it's a part of me. It is me. And by not necessarily even rejecting it, but by not embracing it, it feels like you're not embracing me.
Yeah.
Because I feel that people have a hard time separating themselves from them versus their ideas. They view those things as one and the same, which is not necessarily true. Or in my view, or in my perspective, I don't believe that's true. I believe you are separate from your ideas, specifically because you change so often. I can't believe that this static thing is who you are in entirety.
Okay, I changed my mind and I agree with you.
It's okay. I'm glad we are aligned. We both are the red shirt people, or I'm okay with it.
So, fun fact about that specifically.
What?
I guess let me. I'm trying. I want to frame it in a question before I give you the statistic.
Okay.
If you could answer as qualitatively as you can, how much in common or uncommon do you have to have with another person to see someone else as an other? Do you understand the concept of other?
Ooh, yeah, that's hard. That's anything.
Yes. How much do you have to have in common with a person or uncommon in a person in order to
1%.
see somebody else as an other?
A fraction of
I
a
think
percent.
one thing. I think you just need to have one thing in common with the other person. And like as soon as that happens, then it's like you two. Well, I'm thinking of like random girl at the bar. She comes up, oh, I like your top. Oh, I like your top. Now it's her and I against the like weirdo next to us. Like that's just how that's how it is.
Same thing. Like a lot of, and this is gonna sound messed up. A lot of my social interaction strategy, that sounds so bad. Strategy is to find that one thing that we can link on. So now that you know that we both share this one thing, we're together, and that thing is what allows us to have a gateway to open up and talk about other things. That way, because we already started off on this one thing that we have in common, now we can break it. Like, yeah, we're different on here, but that one thing is going to carry us through.
Guess what? You are both incorrect.
Oh, okay.
It's actually less than one thing.
Oh.
0 things. Yes. Yep. They have done extensive studies and found that all it takes for you to other another person is for you to be grouped with another person. Like, and you can
randomly,
be in a group with another person with 0 things in common, and as long as you guys feel like you're a group together, you have enough in common in order to find another person. Wouldn't
being in a group be a one thing though?
Sure, but they don't necessarily have. They don't have to have anything in common. The thing
we have in common is we're part of this group.
Sure, I guess if you want to see it that way, but the way that they broke the study down was that they essentially explained this concept, quote unquote, this concept to this population of people, and then they split them into groups, and they explained that there was no actual inherent benefit to being in one group or the other, but just the simple fact that they were in a group together with like 0 things in common and 0 benefit, it was enough for them to have bias against the other group.
Damn.
And like they had nothing in common. It was just the fact that they were in a group together. I was like,
why are we the way that we are? That's so infuriating.
No, it's not. That's just how. Okay, so it's not infuriating. It is 100% like we are together. We don't care. Like, it's survival.
Yeah, it's us against the world. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's while in this situation I can understand why it's frustrating. The most powerful times is when you are in a group like that and you are achieving a goal. There's been countless of times where you've been with a group of people and you guys been like on all cylinders just going through because you're like, it's us versus everyone else. We're gonna go through. We're gonna get through this, and that's the beauty of teamwork, beauty of operation.
And I agree. I think it's really easy to look at it and be like, dang, that's a really crappy statistic. But there's also a hidden beauty to it in the sense that people can essentially have absolutely no excuse to bond over. Like, they have no excuse to not bond. Like, if you can form a group over 0 similarities and still other another person, you have absolutely no excuse to bond with anybody. Like, you should be able to bond with literally any person y'all can have every single difference together and should still be able to form a relationship based on whatever kind of human decency you have in your heart or mind.
And not only that, you can then use that to your advantage to achieve different goals. Like, knowing that information puts you in a situation where it's like, oh man, I'm in a situation where a lot of these people here, I probably won't like. But because I know that we can bond over this, because I know that as long as we're a team, I can get along with these people and we can achieve things.
Do you feel like that happened on last Tuesday night?
That is exactly what I do.
Yeah.
That's how I function. That is how I learn how to interact with people socially. Is just to sit there and be like, hey, look, I'm here. We're going to sit there and talk about things. And every time you talk about something that I don't know anything about, I'm just going to move past that and go immediately till we can form this bond. Because once we have this bond, we'll be fine. And it's fine.
I approach it where, like, I know that anytime I go into a setting and it's, like, me and one other person, I know that, like, I need to, like, interact with everyone else in the room. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a confidence thing, having the other person there where it's, like, even if I don't match this other person or, like, have a connection with them, I still have the person I came with. So either way, it doesn't matter. So I feel confident to be and say who I am. And then I make a really great first impression to whoever it is because I come off so, like, charismatic or energized or whatever.
And maybe that's probably because I have an opposite. Because more likely than not, I'm trying to give as little information as possible. I only care to talk to deeply about people who I already have a connection with. Like, before I even go through and explain, like, go into depth and really talk about something, it has to be something where I already know that, hey, this is something that we both share or we're already connected. I'm more likely to get into a deeper conversation with a person one-on-one than to just talk to a whole bunch of different people by myself.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are that way.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't really take time to look at others.
Very interesting. Do we ever come to a consensus on love?
No, we didn't. I'm going to sit there and say that, look, let people fail. Watch them suffer, and then make sure you're there to pull them out.
I'm so torn on it because I want to be unconditional up until, like, I physically can't be, and then I need to, like...
You just have really high conditions.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's good.
Having a high condition is good. Like I said, I don't
believe unconditional. I would hear me say that.
Look.
I would consider you a very, very good, kind person.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Because you have
to a fault.
You and to the point where it actually hurts you more often than anybody else. And I think, like, more people should have those kinds of standards. However, there is a certain level where you do have to take your own mental or physical health or whatever kind of health into consideration. And I think that there's often situations where people don't take those steps, and then that's how you end up in abusive relationships. I feel like it's not an abusive, and this is just my personal belief. I don't think it's an abusive relationship. I don't think it's an abusive relationship until you are unaware of the abuse that you're experiencing. Like, mentally, psychologically, I couldn't say physically, but, you know, like, mentally, psychologically unaware of the abuse. Like, oh no, they're still a good person. I know they are, da-da-da-da-da. Like, when you hear them start saying that, you'd be like, I don't know. I think you might need to call it.
I wouldn't, I can't agree to that. But that's because I have issues. But
don't we all?
I can't, and I don't believe in letting people go. I'm never going to. I'm never going to sit there and not help you if I can. But I'm also not going to save you. There. Shut up. Don't stop. I really hate that. Please. I don't want to go through this anymore.
Never let you fail. I might let you fail, but I won't let you rock that bottom.
Yeah. And this is the thing. A big thing is that I'll sit there and, like I said, I'll watch you struggle. But I'll sit there with you. I'll be there the whole time, If every time you're doing it, I'll do whatever you need. I'll talk to you. I'll give you that. But
I just had an image of like you like the little devil on somebody's shoulder, and like they're just struggling, and you're just sitting there next to them, like, I mean, I'm here with you. I'm like watching.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll always be there. I'm never gonna let them go. Like I understand exactly what you mean when you're saying I'm sitting there. It's becoming a mental strain. It's like affecting my life. And my goal is to get to the point where that can no longer be possible, where no matter what happens, I'm always able to.
You can't control other people. That's the thing.
But I can try. I can at least shoot for it. I can at least go towards that direction. I know it's stupid. I know it's foolish. I know. Huh? Wait, how has it been working out? Terribly.
How's that been working out for you? Like trash.
Terribly. It's terrible. That's
why I have issues.
That's
why I go to therapy.
Yes. But like, I can't not. It is not possible for me to.
Yeah.
I don't have the option.
We some good people. That's all I gotta say.
Calm down. No, I'm not. No. I'm just a person who does things.
Somebody once asked me, if you see an old lady about to get hit by a bus and you have enough time to push her out of the way but you might get hit, would you do it? And I was like, I don't even think I would think about it. Like, I think I would instinctively try to push her out of the way. And I was
whatever
like,
happens.
Yeah, and I was like, and if I get ran over, then I get ran over. But if I don't, then I don't.
Yeah. And honestly, the hardest thing is not even doing that. That's not what's difficult. What's difficult is explaining to people, like, the reasoning why. Like,
I remember
they think, though. What?
Yeah, I was saying what you gotta say.
I would say a lot of times people think of it like when I'll do something for them, they'll be like, oh, it's because you really care or you're really like this much. It's like, it's not even you. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. I just have to do it. Like,
I kind of feel that. I get that. I totally get that. I was standing in line one time at Costco and
you were cracking yourself up.
I know, because like when I explain this to you, you're gonna be like, that person is straight trash. Like, I was literally like obviously standing in line, like obviously I'm in this line and there's not another line. It's just me and the person in front of me and the next person in front of them and then 3 people behind me. And I'm standing in line and this old white guy walks up and steps right in front of me and gets in line. Like, straight up. Like I'm not kidding at all. He straight up walked into the line and got straight in front of me. And I was like, huh. That's what went in my, I was like, huh. And then the person who I was with was like, tell him that there's a line. And I was like, it looks like kindness, but it wasn't. Like, what I said to this person was, I was like, no, they're gonna die soon.
They need this last. Look, they need to value their time, bro. Waiting this line, bro.
They might be in a rush, like, because they don't look like they got a lot of years ahead. Now, is it ballsy for them to just walk and get in line like this? Allie's like,
yeah.
Allie was like, why am I doing a podcast with these people?
Wait. Okay, hold on. Quick question, Allie. In this situation, what would you have done? Because honestly, I would have did the same thing as Bracy did. I'm like, I wouldn't even say anything.
I think I would have too. So, like, sometimes I can be very reactive where I'm like, excuse me. But then a lot of times I'm just at this phase where I'm like, I can't control anybody. People can just be doing whatever they want and I can't do anything. And I probably would have been like, all right, so this is fucking happening. Great. Like, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just like, hey, okay, it happened. And I'm okay with that. They're not gonna be around much longer. Like, if you need a reason, that's your reason, but that's not really the reason. I thought it was just funny to say in the moment. So
Yeah.
You always go for the joke.
Go for the joke. That's the motto of today. All right, party peeps. This has been an interesting conversation. The real deal. We are gonna be back next week, Tuesday at 8:30. This has been The Real Dizzle.